Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever this video finds you, I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Work in Progress Wednesday, I'm going to be adding 3 more figures to my United Empire collection. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today I am adding to the United Empire. I made a Will Ospreay in his black and white boot attire from New Year's Dash when Great O'Con and Jeff Cobb joined the United Empire, and those 3 are really all that I have so far. So we are going to add Henare as well as Perkins to that group, and then I'm going to make another Will Ospreay in this green attire. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen I've already posted and I sold this green attire Ospreay. The Perkins and Henare, they will not be for sale. I don't plan on making these guys a lot, so unless you commission them specifically, I don't plan to make them, but I'm really excited to add them because Perkins is a little more known mainstream. I feel like Henare is like a deep cut even for my New Japan collection. I didn't really have the intention of making him, but House 14 made this head. He had 3XR Studio do the face tattoo decals, and I have access to that library, so I do need to go print those off. But I'm really excited. So let's look a little closer with TJP. I think this attire was from one of the Best of the Super Juniors tournament. These are from Curb Stomp. Let's get everything out here. So we've got it's a black and green attire, and I think I left the tattoos out somewhere. He's got like a full sleeve of tattoos, but the body is a Buddy Murphy body. These arms are from a T-Bar Elite figure. The boots are from a Sami Zayn. And then the calves are might be from a Sami Zayn as well. They're in my fodder bin. I don't remember exactly, but he wears long tights now. He's had some decent success. I think he had a good run in TNA. I haven't really, I don't keep up with TJP a lot. I didn't necessarily love him in WWE, but his Mattel figure that we have gotten is fantastic. It's one of my underrated favorites. So excited to make an update of him. The Ospreay, again, this is the green attire that he was wearing quite a bit in AEW when he wasn't technically with them, but he had that first run. He might have worn this against Orange Cassidy. I don't remember, but yeah, if you've watched AEW, you've seen that recently. The Henare, and I might even be pronouncing that. Like I said, I was not going to make him. He just wasn't someone on my list, even though he's in the group. But I have the capabilities, so I'm going to do that. The formula for this was a ton of fun to think of and put together. So I tried a few different things, but this is what I settled on. And one of the difficulties was his height. So just looking at him in pictures, he is like the heavy of the team. Like Great O'Con is bigger, but Henare just seems like the the heavy brawler. He's only 5'11". I don't know, I thought he was bigger, so that kind of threw off my plans for what I was going to do with him. So I got creative. I did use the rock for his torso and arms. He's still got the tattoo here. The crotch piece is from a Solo Sokoa. So I had made my Solo and I updated that with the head shrinker body. So I just had this the crotch piece left over. Then Henare wears MMA, Muay Thai shorts. So I was trying to look for something. We don't really have a good short mold. I wasn't going to use the Miro. I wasn't going to use a Jazzler's Miro or a Lesnar, and I just didn't really think maybe you could have used the Muhammad Ali, those boxing short mold, but I even thought those were a little too long. So what I'm going to do, so it still has the texture of the shorts up here, but then it's got it's going to be tighter on the legs. So we've got this is from Elite MVP, And then the lowers are just some kick pads I had in my bin. And I think Ospreay is like 6 feet, 6'1", something like that. And Henare is 5'11". So I think that scales pretty well right there. I'm really happy with it. The decals are already cut up because I was trying to kind of figure out how these were going to lay. So these are also made by 3XR Studio Wrestling Figure Epicenter. I think that is who it was. Has his own Henare figure on his Instagram, which kind of gave me the not necessarily inspiration, but the idea for how I wanted to do it. So he also has a lot of cool stuff. You should check him out. I'm trying to piece everything together here so you guys can get an idea. It was all just in like one big piece. So I'm putting it together on the ring mat here. So that's how it's going to be sitting. We've got like the front of the shorts here. This will wrap around to the back a little bit, and then this is going to go around his waist. That's the waistband, obviously. And then his kick pads say United Empire, so I just grabbed these from and some Ospreay decals I had left over. And I don't know if they're entirely accurate, but it's going to work for me for what we're trying to do today. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get to the Empire.
All right, let's get to it. First, we're going to start with this Henare body. I'm going to get all the green on, going to paint it, probably put a few layers on, but since we're putting a lot of decals on, it's really just important that we get it covered so I don't have to go back over it but after the fact. So I'm going to put like 2-3 layers on maybe. If there's some spots we have to touch up afterwards, that's fine, but the decals are going to be covering a lot, so not going to spend like a ton of time going over that. So to seal it, I sprayed it. I taped off the legs and the torso so that wouldn't get sealer on it, even though I'll probably end up spraying like the whole body at the end anyway. Decal wise, I don't know how these are measured, so I'm just gonna get it so that they look similar on both sides, and then you can see the green at the bottom. I'm just gonna fill that in with gray so that it looks even all the way around. With the head, I have a video with how I do my different skin tones, so that head is very basic. So if you want to go check out the skin tone video, you can check that out. It's on a playlist. I can't remember exactly which one. TJP here. I did have a decal for this part of the tights, but it didn't extend all the way down to where it's molded, so I decided to go ahead and just paint that. And I'm going to do all the painting before. I like to do as little messing around with the figure as possible once I get the decals on, so I don't accidentally smudge them, mess them up, whatever. So gonna get the boots done, the belt, and then the like crotch piece done, and then I'm gonna get all the decals on. I'll do the tights first. Well, maybe, I don't know. I guess we'll just kind of see how we're feeling here. Most of the time I'll stick with the tattoos second, just because those I don't want to mess up. Like those are the clear decals. I don't want to be messing around, like those go over joints. But with all the decals here, same process. I throw them in the water, put the micro set on, then I put on the decal, micro sole, and then I'll use the hair dryer, kind of melt that decal in there so that it like really suctions to the figure. When I do tattoos, I will do that same exact process. Then I will go over the articulation points with the micro sole to soften it up a little bit, and then I'll kind of just repeat that. Like I'll use a sponge to kind of push it, and then I kind of go back and forth and trace the joints until it starts to kind of break the decal apart. And then once it's all dry, I'll really like start to move it around, get that to separate. The Ospreay here, it's got to be all green before we get to it. So you can see here, it's sealed. You can tell, like I put like 3 or 4 layers of that green on. The decals cover up a lot, and I don't want to have to paint anymore. So got that all done. I'm gonna do the kick pads. I like to do the legs first. I feel like those areas are all broad. It's always kind of the same, so I do those, and then I'll paint over it with Mod Podge before I get to it, before I get to the rest of the figure. But these decals, super detailed. That like maybe not detailed, but there's just a lot to them. So really just being patient, moving them around, hitting the hair dryer is super important for these. Sometimes cover a really big surface. And then some parts, I went back and forth a lot on Curb Stomp's reference pictures to make sure I got the decals on right. At least according to how he did it. It may not be like entirely accurate to the actual attire, but I wanted to make it look as good as possible. Just I guess as close as possible to how Curb Stomp did his. So these ones that go all the way around the legs, sometimes it's a little hard to press those on. I will put them on and then kind of like put the sponge that I use to press down on both sides and then push it down. Like I go into more detail with my decals in like my tutorial video, but obviously here we just kind of have a time lapse. You can kind of see a little idea of what we do or what I do. There's no we, it's just me.
So here we go. Here's the first piece we are going to look at today is the Aaron Henare figure. And as I'm recording this, I just saw a little bit ago, Curb Stomp did add some Henare decals to his library. Obviously, not really going to need those. I've got mine here, but they are different. So maybe that'll be something I explore down the road if I feel like making another one here. But we'll get up a little closer. You see the tattoo on there. There's the shorts and everything. So I ended up going over all of the silver parts or the gray parts with a gray paint so it matched better. You can kind of see there that this part has more like a bluish hue to it. So I didn't go over all that, but I went over everything else. I went over with a metallic green as well, and then the decals are extra decals that I just had from an Ospreay that I had worked on, and then I decided to use not hockey tape. Yeah, hockey stick tape is what I used for the wrist tape. I'm going to start doing that instead of painting it. I just like that look more. I kind of tried something like that with my Ultimate CM Punk, and I like how this looks. So obviously it's more realistic because like actual tape that they use, but really happy with how that one turned out. Let's see here. Next up, we're going to take a look at TJP. This one was a blast. I had a lot of fun doing this. There's a ton of tattoos. Sorry, I'm getting it. It was looking a little wonky here. So there's TJP in all of his United Empire glory. All the tattoos on his chest here. I did paint his lips. You can kind of tell. I've gotten better at painting lips, so I've started adding color to some figures, because sometimes WWE or Mattel does, sometimes they don't. You can see the decals on the back there. I did not put the lightning bolts on the back of the boot, just because like size-wise they didn't really fit well, so I just kept those plain. Painted the soles on here and that back heel. There, you see the knee pad. Creased a little bit. Not the end of the world. Tights came out really well. Really happy with how TJP came out. Tattoos came out, I mean, almost perfectly. They've got the articulation to them. Yeah, really happy with TJP here. And then last one, obviously Mr. Bruv himself, who as of this recording has not made his actual debut in AEW yet, but maybe we'll be getting that soon here. I did change it up. I decided to go with the Ultimate Edition torso instead of the T-bar torso, just because I was kind of going through and like while I was working on this, I realized I had this in my fodder bin. I used the hockey tape for his wrist tape as well, and I think this torso, I think this is the best torso for Will. I know some people use, like I use the T-bar torso. Some people will just use like the Rollins size torso. What else have I don't know. I've seen a lot of stuff. I think I've used the Stone Cold torso. So a lot of people have used a lot of things. I think this Ultimate Edition torso that maybe the first Jeff Hardy had. Of course the first Jeff Hardy had. That's where I got it all from. But for AJ Styles too, I think that like the
less definition on the stomach, and then still kind of like the larger looking upper body is how a lot of guys look, and I think this captures it well, and I think that it works perfectly for Will. So I changed it up. Let's get a close-up here of the decals. This is just a really fun one to work on, definitely challenging, and this is my second time making it as well, so I learned a little bit from last time. Get a little closer in the head, you can see there. Got the dry brush on top. We got some marks on it. But overall, I'm really happy with that. So I did have my Jeff Cobb and my Great O'Con, so I could put everyone together here. And again, we will keep filling this out. So next up on the United Empire list is going to be Aussie Open. I'm going to get to those guys. I really like the Kyle Fletcher head that House 14 has. He also got, what is the name of the other guy? I can't, it's slipping my mind. I don't know, that's been happening a lot lately. Maybe I haven't been drinking enough coffee. Maybe I've been drinking too much coffee. But we've got 5 members here. Aussie Open's going to be coming up next, and we're just going to keep going down the list, making everyone a United Empire. I love making stables. I love making groups. And so far, I'm really, really happy with how it's been coming together. Really happy with, just like the opportunity to get some of these, like a few years ago, more, not even, a couple years ago, thinking I'd have Great O'Con, Jeff Cobb, Aaron Henare, Will Ospreay even. We got that TJP, but not like this. Just total pipe dreams, and here we are filling that out. So I'm gonna keep cracking at that. Anyway, that's gonna be everything for Work in Progress Wednesday today. If you like what we're doing here, go check out our playlist. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.